What got me interested in drama probably goes way back to when I was in elementary school. I think I shared this story with you. And we did a little commercial for our classmates. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And we set this little bobblehead cat on the floor and everybody started laughing. And I thought, I like this reaction. And I was in a few plays in elementary school, but honestly it wasn't until I got to college that I saw a play here and thought, man, I could do that. And got involved, started volunteering on the stage crew, and then it kind of rolled from there. That's a tough one. I have had a lot of directors over the years. I haven't had many directors who actually challenged me directly, who looked at my skill set and said, okay, we need to stretch this, that, or the other. I would say Dwayne Morris was someone who influenced me a lot in the speech area, and even in his example, public speaking and performance, and he saw something in me in interpretation and storytelling that encouraged me to move forward. The gentleman that chaired my dissertation panel, who has forgotten more about drama than I'll probably ever learn, he really inspired me, and just his knowledge of it and his challenging me to think outside the box and creatively on how I produce things and write about things, that was pretty significant. But for most of my community theater stuff, which I greatly enjoyed, I would be hard pressed to think of one or two comments I was ever given by a director in those plays. Number one, perspective. The play was the end all be all. I gave 110%, and it was incredibly important to me. It was part of my identity. It was how I felt fulfilled. Combined with that, I used to yell at my students and push them with negative reinforcement, and I got the results I wanted, but I hurt people in the process. And I don't know, it was a moment at my first school. It was my third year, I think, of teaching, and just the look on this one student's face, and it kind of struck me, I can't do this anymore. And I made a marked change since that time. Those are probably the two biggest ones. Good question. Read a lot. Get to know the canon of plays that are out there, so that you know what good literature is. And when you do pick a play, pick something that is substantial, has some text that you can work with and your actors can grow through working on. If you don't have a lot of people to work with, then pick the people that are willing to work. I would encourage young directors, pick teachability over talent every single time. Don't be going after the big shot that has a big head and feels like, well, you owe me something, now I'm in your play. Get the kids that want to be involved and will work hard, and build a program through that. And build the program through relationships, that they know that you care about them as individuals, and also build the program with an eternal perspective, that this means a whole lot more than you're in a play to have fun. This play's not your identity, but it does have worth. The way that we rehearse has value. It's not just the end product that matters. Those are just some of the things that I would, and I try to drill that into my students as well. I have to personally be excited about it. There are plays that are very good plays, and I think, oh, this would be great. And I go to bed and I wake up the next day and I have this really not excited feeling about that very same play. And I had one in mind a few years back, and I came back to it probably 5 times, and I never ever woke up feeling like, oh yeah, this is, and I just didn't do it. I got to pick something that I know I can cast. It's hard to cast a play that is male dominated if you don't have guys that are trying out. And I don't want to cast a play that's so big that I have to use people that don't have the ability to fill the roles, because even the extras to me are critical. So can I cast it? Am I going to be excited about it? Does it add some value to the program? Does it challenge the actors? Does it stretch them? Is it something they can get excited about and get involved in? In a lot of ways, it was Mystery of the Yellow Room, because I had adapted that play. It's never been done anywhere else. It wasn't a perfect play. It needs work, but to be able to take a piece of literature and bring it to the stage, it's by Gaston Leroux. It's kind of Victorian. It's a mystery. It's got a Sherlock Holmes feel to it, and it's the grandfather of the locked room mystery. I mean, it just was a piece that I was really excited about, and I'd like to do it again sometime. Man, there are so many. I'm not exaggerating. There are so many. Even just picking one of them is going to alienate 5 others that are honestly just as important to me. I will pick working with the High in Place cast. That thing from start to finish was a textbook discipleship program. And our lead was so emotionally and spiritually and physically dialed in to the character. And those around her were doing the very same things, and it was spiraling out to the edges of the cast. It was a powerful piece, very powerful text, truth, the human spirit, and the gospel. I mean, it's an amazing piece. I have had times of being tired of going through the process. Being in a place where you have a team makes it a lot better. Because when I was a high school teacher, I did everything. I mean, everything. There's got to be a persistence, and there's got to be a willingness to work and to keep working to get better. I don't consider myself a great director, just so you know, but I'm looking at the people who are. And they sacrifice for their art. They are knowledgeable. They apply correct theater technique to the play. I mean, inspiration is there, but you've got to couple it with technique. You've got to couple it with experience and what you know works. Doing something with that production that the audience sits there and thinks, I would never have thought of it. I would never have seen that coming. Or that's a moment of art that sticks with me. I just would, it's beautiful. It's captivating. I think that's another part of being a great director, that you surprise your audience. In my opinion, the Christian should be embracing narrative as much as they possibly can within the bounds of appropriateness in order to take stories and help to move their culture in a way that is good and holy and right. I'm not talking about preaching text. I'm not talking about preaching stories. I'm talking about stories that take a truth and you feel the truth because you see the story play out. You see redemption because you see the story play out, not because somebody gets up at the end of the movie and says, hey, by the way, this is what we were trying to tell you the whole time. And our liberal friends are masters at this. They do plays about presidents and plays about marriages and about raising kids and about love constantly. And they are driving the culture toward a viewpoint without ever openly saying anything. Now sometimes they do, but they are masters at using storytelling and using music and using images to shift the heart of a people. And Christians should be wise enough to be able to do that in a way that is honest and discerning and long-lasting.